welcome to Triple T Thursday. That's tips, tricks, and talktorials. And today we're going to try something new. It was an idea brought up by one of my channel members and / friend, Keely, also known as the Discord coach. So we're going to be diving into that, but we're also going to talk about some YouTube news. And I want to share this with y'all because it came out from the first day of VidCon. It looks like it was in the works for a little bit, but if anyone knows what I'm talking about, go ahead and put it in the chat. I just tweeted about it. I just put out a YouTube short about it, and that is YouTube themselves is finally going to be giving us A/B thumbnail testing. That's right. It's actually happening. Woo. It's actually happening. And so what does that mean? First of all, hello, how are you? I'm your host, Shelly Saves the Day. I'm so excited to hang out with you today. So also, what's in your cup today? I'm back in my little Ember mug, which, by the way, are these not the best? Because now I can not sip on my coffee or tea for hours and it's still warm. So there's that for you. What's in your cup today? Let me know. I am Awake English Breakfast tea. So YouTube has just come out and said that they're giving us A/B thumbnail testing, and it's different from what other services out there actually have for this, as opposed to one where it rotates out a thumbnail out every 24 hours. It's actually going to give you the option to upload up to 3 thumbnails, and it will serve them simultaneously to the audience, and then it will collect data, not just click-through rate, but it will collect data around average view, retention and percentage, so that people aren't just going and gaming for the highest click-through rates. They're actually looking at retention and which thumbnails are driving more satisfaction. So, what is this? Okay, sorry. Hello to Dutch Can Jam. Hello to El Jefe Reviews. Hey, buddy. Hello, Adam's Exploits. Oh, you were first one in chat as well. Good to see you. Pixelpia is here. Oh, Rich Graham is here. Hey, good to see you too. Native A/B testing. Yes, what a time to be alive, right? So if you know my friend Gwen, she's been talking about how this has been under wraps and secret for like forever, and she didn't think it was ever going to come out. Well, we got official word today. So at VidCon, apparently on stage with Colin and Samir, they revealed that a couple hundred channels have been testing A/B testing, and they're calling it the compare and contrast test. There's a new Creator Insider video, which is linked. I did a stitch from it in the YouTube short that I just put out. So if you want to see the rest of the video where they talk about it, you can definitely do so. But the long and short is short. 3 thumbnails at a time, okay, simultaneously served while tracking analytics. A few hundred channels right now in the program. It will be rolling out testing to a wider group, a few thousand channels soon-ish. They didn't give any time frame on that. And then next year, which is 6 months from now, but still a date in sight, it should be then rolling out to more channels. So I'd love to hear from y'all. What do you think of these changes? Are you excited? Are you someone who likes making thumbnails? Are you now someone who will make multiple thumbnails to test out with your audience? / it's okay, it's a safe space here. What do we think this might do for some companies who this was one of their big flagship items? Any and all thoughts on everything around thumbnail A/B testing? I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Drop them in the chat, okay? So let's see what we've got over here. By the way, I wanted to DM you. I couldn't. Diana Gladney gave me a shout out in the latest video. Really? Well, I'm gonna have to go check that out. And speaking of, let's rewind a bit. I am coming to you right now today in 720p because I'm running an experiment. First of all, you can let me know how it looks. I am using a different camera than usual. This is the Sony ZV-1, and one of the accessories that I'm going to put on my 5 accessories that I think every person who owns a ZV-1 should get, because I'm certainly not going to get into the tech specs of the camera itself. There's plenty of channels that do that, but 5 useful accessories that I think if you have this camera would be a good idea. This happens to be one of them. I'm testing it, and this was actually a recommendation from Diana, so that's why I'm talking about this. We're coming full circle back to it. Is this particular dummy battery was her recommendation. Now it is just the the dummy battery into the coupler into the USB end, so you still have to use a separate USB thing. But because I was also testing this and testing the USB streaming testing capabilities out of the Sony ZV-1, that is why I'm technically coming at you in 720p today. Usually I come from the Sony a7 III, or I would go this camera into the Cam Link so that I could have the 4K capture card and be able to stream at a higher resolution. But today, like I said, because I'm testing, it's at 720. So long story longer than it needs to be. I was thinking of Diana too. Okay, so Dutch Can Jam's drinking water. Hey, Mr. Camera Junkie's here. And let's see here. We'll test 3 for every video. Okay, Pixel P is on it. Like, yes. Not that affects most of you, but StreamYard is finally rolling out guest chat for YouTube. Okay. And then Discord Coach, I was just talking about YouTube, saying, great intro though. Looks audio slightly out of sync, a few frames. I think mine is 4 frames. You know what? I think that's a good point because mine might be set at like 1, or sometimes it's, when I'm with the Sony a7 III, I have it set at like 3. So also that combined with the lower resolution could be a problem, but that's okay. All right. Oh, speaking of Ecamm fam though, I just got a notification ping yesterday. I got tagged. I forgot, honestly, that I had done this video, but a while back I got asked to make a couple of tips or feedback around using green room or the backstage area for Ecamm for interview mode. And I made that video, months and months and months ago. I don't even know at this point. And I just got a notification and tag that it came out yesterday. So I guess if you want to see me and Cooper, I made him do a guest cameo in that video as well and learn a couple things maybe that you most definitely already knew about Ecamm, green screen, green room stuff, then you can check that video on the Ecamm channel. So that was a pleasant surprise. I was like, oh my God, I totally forgot about that video, and it's out. So there's that. So today's video, what I want to chat with y'all about was Keely and I were having a check-in this week, and where to start with this? Okay, let's just rewind for a second and get a little more vulnerable on you all. I'm still trying to figure out my place in the YouTube universe. I don't exactly know where I fit in. And this is actually coming from, I had a whole, as you guys know, probably mental breakdown at some point over the last few years, trying to figure out what my space in all of YouTube actually is. Okay, so let me just get philosophical for a moment, and then we're going to get into the crux of the rest of it because it's my show and my microphone. So you can listen or not, or you can just come back in like 10 minutes because I'll probably ramble on for about that long. Don't say it, I didn't warn you. So I am in this group of, I hate to use the word, okay? I really do. I hate to use the phrasing, but for all intents and purposes, okay, let's just lump it in there as a YouTube guru, YouTube help person, YouTube educator, okay? And, of which the likes, there's some real behemoths in the arena, right? We've got the Niman brothers, we've got Daniel Batal, we've got, Liron Segev, we've got Ed from Film Booth, I love his stuff, we got Nate and Channel Makers, we've got Daryl Eves, we've got, everyone from the vidIQ team, everyone from the TubeBuddy channel, everyone, you guys get it, you guys and gals. And so I was bemoaning the fact that, one, sometimes there aren't, not to play the female card, but there aren't a lot of females on some of these lists of YouTube educators, or when they do collabs and they're talking about YouTube people in the space, sometimes you just don't get to see a lot of females. And as dudes, you may not notice or even care, but as girls, sometimes it gets more glaringly obvious that sometimes we're either excluded, intentionally, not intentionally, doesn't matter, and never the majority, we'll say, unless it's an actual women of video type of thing. So I was like, okay, I can't necessarily give up because I do want to be there. Not that I don't love the dudes that come here, but trying to show up as someone, as a female who is going to be here and supportive of other females trying to break into the space, okay? And so I was in this group and I was like, gosh, I don't even know sometimes if I should be doing YouTube or YouTube help content. And then I was like, But when I look back sometimes at who the other people that I think are phenomenal in the space, I've got like Jessica Stansberry, but she talks now sometimes more about digital products and sales than she does about, let's say growing on YouTube, or Trina, and it's more about YouTube for business, which is great. Not exactly the same. It's not quite the same focus. And then there's, it was Vanessa Lau, but she really focused on Instagram, and she's taking an extended sabbatical break right now. And we had, who else did we have? I was saying, sorry, I had all these people. Okay. And there were people that I could name, but then, or like Catherine Manning, but then she's now starting to do a lot of house repair / pregnancy stuff / all this other. And so I was like, I can't be necessarily another female who was in this space and just drops out and does something else. But I also have a hard time focusing only on one thing. And I was telling Killy this as like, I talk about shorts and vertical video. I talk about camera gear. And that's why I even made the post. I was like, I'm thinking about making a video about 5 pieces of tech equipment I would recommend for the Sony ZV-1. I don't even know if I should be making this. I don't know if anyone cares. There were 2 people I think that voted like yes. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll do it. But also it's like, should I be talking about that? If it's, if I were focused on just YouTube help type stuff. And that's the problem. Well, one of the problems with me is that as a generalist and not as a deep diving specialist, 1, it's really easy for me to go off track. 2, it's really difficult for me to sometimes even articulate what I help people with when I am trying to talk to them about what I do. But I also don't want to abandon the space completely because I feel like there just has to be some representation. But I'm also tired of feeling like I try and I work hard, but it's not that I don't get the rewards or the same opportunities, but I just feel sometimes usually misunderstood, left behind, not taken seriously, all the things that come along with imposter syndrome, right? And so I guess what I'm saying is I don't even know half the time what I'm doing on YouTube. I make all these mistakes all the time. Right? And I tell you all that I make all the mistakes so you don't have to, so you can learn from everything I've done wrong, because I have done almost everything that you can do wrong on my own YouTube channel, and I'm trying to save y'all from it. But at the same time, then it's really painful / hurtful. Not that I don't want my friends to succeed, but when I see everyone that gets, invitations to things or is included in things that make them appear, not that they're not credible, but more credible, you know what I mean? And raises and elevates their status. But then I just feel left behind a lot of the time. And then it makes me wonder, is my advice bad? Am I just not very good at this? Am I not cut out to do this? Right? So it's just a whole shame spiral that is happening here. So I don't know where I fit in, and I don't know what my thing is, where a lot of people have their thing. Nate in Channel Makers, I appreciate his stuff because he learns, he does the data deep dive, he brings back evidence from his coaching stuff. Ed is such a great storyteller, and he does all these fun camera things, and he can teach you about editing as well as YouTube, as well as retention, as well as all these things. And I'm like, y'all, I don't know what my thing is, except for a sarcastic attitude and a crappy attitude. Okay. So if y'all want to help me with that, help me figure it out, that'd be great, because I certainly don't know what it is. I'm too close to the problem because I am the problem. And that's what I was telling Keely. But one of the things that we chatted about while I was doing my shame spiral in front of her was, hey, you know what you could do? Welcome back to all the people who set their timer for 10 minutes ago to come back to this moment in time. I was talking with Keely, and she suggested, why don't we take a look at some people's YouTube shorts and see what advice we would give for how to make it more engaging, or what we might have done different, or if there's a video maybe that, as an example, like what we do at Content Minis, where we would take something and create a short and then give some rationale around why we would do it that way. And so that's what I'm going to do today, starting also with channel members. If you have a video that you've done that you're really proud of, that you think maybe there'd be a cool short that we could make out of it, why don't you, maybe you can drop the link in. If it's, let's hope for a video that's under 5 minutes or something like that, because we don't have all day. But if you want to have me take a look at a video and see about how we would maybe chop it up and create a short out of it, we could do that. Or if you have a short that you have on your channel that you want to provide the link to, and we can give some feedback on that short about, maybe what we would have changed or how we would have, maybe a little different, or maybe why it didn't work or why it did work if it was super successful. Let's do that. So priority will be given to channel members. And then if there's no one else that submits anything, then maybe we'll get to your stuff too. Oh my God, by the way, it's so hot in this room. It's so hot in this room. It's getting hot in here. So let's talk about this. Here we go. Wait, I need more than a bitchy attitude. Unfortunately, because if that's all we would needed, I would have succeeded long ago, Keels. So she's saying we, but I meant Shelly does the deconstruct and advice. Okay, exactly. You are subscribing me. What does that mean? So yeah, this is the time. Be interactive. If there's something that you just particularly love about me, or you think is my special superpower, because sometimes we're too close to see it, let me know what that is, or we can chat about that. We don't know what channel direction we're headed here, but that could be fun. And if you have a video that's under 5 minutes or so and we want to make a short out of it, or if you have an existing short, well performing or not well performing, drop the link. Let's take a look at it and we'll see what we can chat about together. Does that sound good? Can I get a thumbs up on this video? And in the chat, if that sounds good. I'm also going to try and figure out, I want to make sure I share my screen, and maybe if we have to get to it, we'll even do a little bit of editing inside of Final Cut Pro or Descript. And let me open up that. Am I promising that these are going to be fantastic? No, these are to get the general gist and idea. And we're going to open up Descript probably. So there's that. Okay, I have one, a short I did for my podcast. Great. Pixelpia, drop the link. Let's see what we've got. Let me also open a Chrome browser. We're going to need that so we can look at that. Yeah, send me a link. Drop it. I think since you're a moderator as well, you should have access to drop a link into the chat. So feel free to do that. Everyone give Pixelpia a round of applause for going right into the hot seat. All right, I think I can copy and paste. Can I copy and paste it? No. Let me go to the chat in my actual YouTube window. Give me a second here. Let me go pull it up. Dun, 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 dun. Your channel live stream. I gotta mute myself. Mute. We're not looking for that. All right, here we go. Channel short. Okay, let's pause. Let's share this computer screen with y'all. Here we go. And me and web page. Boom. Oh, it's in the wrong camera. Give me a second. It still thinks I'm using my other camera. There I am. Let's bring this over here. Okay, here is Pixelpia's short. Let's take a look at it. Okay, let's see. Okay, I can't hear you.
In what was to become the internet, I bought myself a Macintosh LC. And with my first home computer came this. Dial-up modem connecting to the internet. We started to see what was to become the web. The web made a big difference in how people started to use the internet. A new episode will come out tomorrow. Hi, welcome to the Geeky Boomer podcast. I am Pixelpia, your host. I will take you on a journey.
Okay, so anyone out there in the chat, go ahead and drop some feedback for Pixelpia. This was just released, right? So we're going to say, is the question, how could it be better? Is the question, can we decipher why it maybe isn't doing well or why it is doing well? Or is it what I would change? And so let's take a peek. as we're going through this, one of the things that first struck me is with a YouTube short, because you are being served up to an audience that probably doesn't know who you are, it's probably not the time to start with the introduction, at least not in the very beginning, because the very first few seconds are going to be what are going to make people decide whether or not they're going to flick off your face. You know what I mean? By scrolling to the next. So one of the first things we got to think about is the first 3 seconds. Is it intriguing and engaging? So I probably wouldn't start with, hi, my name is, or welcome to this podcast, because someone's already in the short shelf. They're like not thinking it's a podcast. Plus, I wouldn't say something like new episode coming tomorrow, because we don't know when a short is going to pop off. So anything that has to do with a calendar specific type of date, like tune in tomorrow for this live stream, is probably going to get lost in the mix because we don't know what day it's actually going to be seen by someone else. So if we're going to go for some sort of intrigue right away, maybe something like showing the modem, or starting with that like horrendous sound. Like, do you know what this is? Or if you're a child of the 80s, does this bring you back? You know, in the beginning, internet sounded like this, you know. Is probably going to be a more engaging and catching way to do that. And then I'm not crazy about maybe the text. Hold for 1 second. Let me come over here. Give me a second here. Pixelpia, do I have your permission to borrow this video? Oh, sorry. Give me a second here. I don't want it to do that. I want this. Why won't you give me what I want? Wait a second here. Let me come back over here. Come on. We ain't here to hurt nobody. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Oh my gosh, I'm sweating. It is so hot in here. It is so hot in here. Okay, hold on, y'all. 1 second. Let's go over here. Let's go into, I just had it. Where is it? Descript. Okay, let's switch over here. 1 second. And then, oh, that's interesting. Why is it taking so long? Come on. Come on, do it. It really doesn't want to. Give me a second. And anyone else, provide your feedback to Pixelpia in the chat so we can come back and read it all together. Let's start looking at why. Come on. There we go. All right, show to me. Show in Finder. Show in Finder. Hey, show in Finder. Show in Finder. Hey. All right, let's come back over here. Let's make this bigger. Let's, boom. Come back and share my screen. And me and my page. Oh, is it still going to think it's, oh, there we are. Okay, here we go. Just as a test here, we're going to open this up in Descript. Let me make myself a little smaller over here. I'll just hang out over here. And let's take a peek here. Is that what the video is really called? Tomorrow's episode of Geeky Boomer, talking about the 90s internet? No, we shouldn't call it that. Anyways, podcast. Okay, so if we're looking at hi, welcome to the Geeky Boomer podcast.
Welcome to the Geek.
Okay, that's never gonna work here. Let's zoom in. Let's playback speed at, I'll save you guys. I'll make you do double. We'll do some.
Hi, welcome to the Geeky Boomer podcast. I am Pixelpia, your host. I will take you on a journey in what was to become the internet. I bought myself a Macintosh LC and
Come on now. Elsie.
dial up LC. And with that, with my first home computer came this.
Okay, so one thing here, let's just insert the captions real quick and we'll override those fancy captions. And let's let me look at this real. When did you switch over?
Myself a Macintosh LC. And with
Came here. Okay, let's do this. Let's throw in a new scene here. And then
see what
where did you come back?
Connecting to the internet. We started to see what was dial-up modem.
Oh, wait a second.
Came
Oh, they're saying it's
this.
14 seconds. Yeah, got it. Okay, let's look at this real quick. So, what if I want to take this blade here? Can we take this section? Oh, just let me scoot it. And then, okay, let's, sorry, I'm trying to look around the camera because it's right where the computer screen is. Let's do this. Let's bring this here. And then let's do that. Let's cut out this dead space. We all know as children of the 90s that would have never gone that fast. Let's take all of this. Let's put a blade here and let's drag that here. And then this is all dials.
Hi.
All right. Boom. Let's draw a blade here. Right. And let's take this section. And this section. And let's bring it down just a little bit. And then let's bring it back up here for playback speed at 1.5 speed so that people watching can get through faster.
Hi.
Great. So let's throw in oh, I wonder if it'll let me experiments. Edit. So if we do this and then insert an overdub, let's just do let's do a stock voice. Emily. Oh no, I lost it. Come back. Okay. Let's do this. Come on, give me the voice. There it is. Let's bring it over here at the beginning. Let's bring it over here. We're getting closer. Let's bring it over here.
Do you know what this sound is?
Okay, so if we did something like that.
Do you know what this sound is?
So we're gonna also have to, let's throw in a title right here. Let's also, on this part of the video, make it bigger. Okay.
Do you know what this sound is?
We're gonna probably have to, where's my title? Show me all my layers. There it is. Let's change the font. Let us change this color. I want neon green. Neon green. Okay. Then let's throw in a little ear emoji. Okay. Now let's take a peek.
Do you know what this sound is?
Okay, right here is the end of this. We're going to cut off our titles. Like that, delete.
Hi. Hi. Welcome to the Geeky Boomer podcast. I am Pixel Pia, your host. I will take you on a journey in what was to become the internet.
And what was to become the internet break.
I bought myself a Macintosh LC. And with my first home computer came. I bought myself a Macintosh LC. And with my first home computer came this dial-up modem.
Okay. Let's go with... I bought myself a Mac with this. Okay, so I'm going to go with myth. Let's see. Just going to delete this for a second. I think.
With my first home computer came this dial-up modem connecting to the internet. We started to see what was to become the web. The web made a big difference in how people started to use the internet. A new episode.
Oh no, where did the rest of my speech go? With the whole welcome to the Geeky Boomer. Oh man, I gotta take it back just so I can move it. Okay, give me a second. Okay. And with that, with my first computer. All right. Boom. Control C, X. Came this. Dial-up modem. Connecting to the internet. We started to see the web. Okay. Boom. Bring that back. Yo, DJ, bring that back. All right. So let's take a peek here. Even if we just change the order of this, and y'all know we don't have a lot to work with. This is what we have. So here we go. Let's take a look.
Do you know what this sound is?
With my first home computer came this dial-up modem.
What is that? Hold on.
Dial-up modem.
No. You.
First home computer came this dial-up.
You.
This dial-up modem.
Okay, wait. Just a little more.
Came this dial-up modem connecting to the internet. We started to see what was to become the web. The web made a big difference in how people started to use the internet. Hi, welcome to the Geeky Boomer podcast. Use the internet.
Right there, right there. Everything from hi. Welcome to the Geeky Boomer podcast.
To the Geeky Boomer podcast. Use the internet. To the Geeky Boomer.
Where's welcome? There we go.
Difference in how people started to use the internet. Welcome.
Good. Unwelcome. Let's correct that to a capitalization. It's the start of a new sentence. Ooh. You didn't change. Correct. Welcome. Okay. Let's get out of this.
Welcome to the Geeky Boomer podcast. I am Pixel Pia, your host.
Oh, They didn't get your name right either. Correct.
Pia, your host. I will take you on a journey in what was to become the internet.
No. We'll come back to...
A new episode. The Geeky Boomer podcast. I am Pia, your host. A new episode will come out tomorrow.
I would say will come out... Can we overdub into every week? Let's see if it'll do that. All right, let's take a peek here.
Come out every week. Host. A new episode will come out every week.
Close enough. All right, so let's go back and make sure.
Do you know what the sound is?
With my first... With my first home computer came this dial-up modem connecting to the internet. We started to see what was to become the web. The web made a big...
Hold on. And the only reason I'm doing this is one, because I want to cut out the old captions that were underneath, but also I feel like you should take up the rest of the screen. Yes.
With my this dial-up modem connecting to the internet. We started to see what was to become the web. The web made a big difference in how people started to use the internet. Welcome to the Geeky Boomer podcast. I am Pia, your host. A new episode will come out.
You.
I am Pia, your host. A new episode will come out
Every week.
Every week. That is kind of funny, though.
I am Pia, your host.
We could just cut out all of the rest of that stuff.
A new episode.
We could actually just cut out all of that. Yeah. I'm Pixelpia, your host, and we don't have to worry about the rest of that. Ooh, ooh. Boom, 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 boom. Pop.
Podcast. I am Pia, your host.
All right. So that's what I'm going to go with. If we were to... heck, let's publish it. I'll download it. I'll send it to you, Pixelpia, if you want it. You can put that out on your channel desktop. Boom, 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 boom. So let's compare this with what we had for Pixelpia's previous. Let's open it. Was Chrome. Here it is. And if we had more time, we'd probably do some, sound effects or different stickers or different things like that. So, but we don't, or I'm not going to spend it on that. Okay, so let's go back and DJ play that back.
What was to become the internet. I bought myself a Macintosh LC. And with that, with my first home computer, came this.
And this is a good idea. It just takes too long.
Dial-up modem connecting to the internet. We started to see what was to become the web. The web made a big difference in how people started to use the internet. A new episode will come out tomorrow.
All right, now it's not a WebM, but let me see if we can just download this and drop it onto the screen. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio here. Although, where is it? Geeky Boomer Podcast. There it is. And let me see if I can just drop it on as a scene.
Do you know what this sound is?
With my first home computer came this dial-up modem connecting to the internet. We started to see what was to become the web. The web made a big difference in how people started to use the internet. Welcome to the Geeky Boomer podcast. I am Pia, your host.
All right, so that's a before and after of a quick short makeover. What do we think? I don't know. Did you guys hear it? I think you could hear it, right? But that's kind of just based on the material that was there. I think I was really just rearranging it, making it speed up a little bit, and probably reversing some of the order and increasing the intrigue, and then deleting the parts about when. Right? So can we get a round of applause for that? I mean, thank you, Pixelpia, for volunteering. It's not easy being the first one to go, but that is kind of an example of like what we would be doing. Just because I feel like a lot of the times when people think about shorts, they just think, let me just take some sort of snippet, or let me just try and put something, or let me try and condense everything down into. And in fact, I actually made it shorter than it was. It wasn't about trying to get all of it. It's still trying to get the essence of it, right? So we cut out the parts that we don't think are necessary, speed up the pieces that it's a good idea in theory. It just takes too long to execute it. And so I think you can see even within shorts, because you have a shorter time and attention span, we have to be more creative about how we get people's attention and hold it, and what kind of story we're going to be able to tell with people who don't know who we are. Okay. So if someone else has one that want to give a shot, I think we have a little bit of time left. Yeah, we have time for one more. So if someone else out there wants to give it a go, drop in a video if it's under 5 minutes, because we don't have that long. Or if you have a short that you thought did really well and you want to see like why maybe, or maybe a short that you think didn't perform very well and you're just kind of curious why, or if you need some ideas as well to kickstart, let's have a little discussion and chat about it. Also, Pixelpia, I was just looking at that, and I see that you're centered in this one and then not centered in the one that I did real quick. So before I save this one, I will re-render it and make sure that you're centered, and then I'll send you a link and you can download it as a Google Drive file. And feel free to put it up, or don't. Feel free to put it up on TikTok or Instagram Reels, or don't use it. It's fine. It's at your, and also I didn't even know. I didn't ask you if you have a specific font or colors, because I think it was just generically left in there from one of the last projects I was working on. So if you want me to make some sort of change and you want to use it, I'll change it for you. Okay. The actual show is 30 minutes. Okay. Oh, so perfect. El Jefe Reviews is saying, hey, buddy, you're still here. Even with YouTube Shorts, pacing and storytelling elements are key. Absolutely. So I think y'all know sometimes those little tricks that we do, such as I'll take a phrase and I'll break it in two to make it look more like a loop. Or if someone is really close, but what they have is about 1 minute and 6 seconds long, and you want to get under 60 seconds, then I'll increase the speed to 111%, maintain the pitch, so it still just sounds like them just talking a little bit faster. And sometimes it can be helpful for some people because, like I said, in something that is that fast and quick paced, then sometimes the audio, to jam pack in a lot of information in a short period amount of time, that's one way to do it. Or if you just want to make it speedier, because some people tend to have a tone and pace that is a little bit slower than people on shorts might want to listen to. Little insider tricks. There you go. So if anyone else has something that they want to share, please let me know. Drop in a link. Like I said, a video under 5 minutes, a short that's performing well, a short that isn't performing well. Let's chat about it. Also, a couple things that I was thinking about for general principles, and we had talked about this before in a different live stream, but I do feel like it's important enough I can share it with you again. And one is going to be, this was coming from the shorts, like YouTube Shorts social media team, and they were talking and discussing reasons why they would or would not show or share or highlight something on their own social media channels that other people had maybe tagged them in. And one of those is being around this feeling that it's language agnostic. And I was just listening to the Colin and Samir interview that they did with, goodness, I forget his name, Paul, I think it was. And they were talking specifically about the YouTube trends and things from around the world. And he's actually kind of like the director or vice president of that. And not only is it a report that they put out, but they were talking about in the beginning of YouTube, one of the reasons why a lot of certain types of videos were very popular, it was babies, and it was kitty cats, right? It's because you don't really have to understand the language to understand that a baby's cute or that a cat is doing something and it's really cute. And so they're saying something that was very eerily similar to what the people who had the other thing we're talking about, which is if you can have a YouTube short that is kind of language agnostic and it really doesn't rely on text, it doesn't rely on you having to understand the language to know what's happening, then all of a sudden you can get more reach because of that fact of something being universal. So I thought that was interesting. Also, do you guys remember the concept of these soft pranks versus harder pranks? So unlike that gentleman who just got arrested for the umpteenth time in England for breaking into people's homes and walking out with their pets, or, you know, jumping on top of people's cars, which are all technically crimes, okay? They're probably not going to share stuff like that because it's also illegal, you know? But if it was something like, I fell down and I tripped and but I caught myself, fine. But if you did a skateboarding trick where you would fall over, like you're jumping off a building and the potential to crack your head open was higher, all of a sudden that's not something that's going to get shared, right? Does this make sense? So the idea is if it's kind of like America's Funniest Home Videos, you saw a wiffle bat and you saw a kid, you knew that the baseball or wiffle ball was going to be, you know, hit into the papa. You just knew that was going to happen. And technically, while you could get hurt, most of those kids are about 3 years old when you're doing it. So, you know, it's not going to hurt too bad. Okay. So that was a lot easier. Or the example they had was the mannequins inside of a store where someone's dressed like a mannequin versus, like I said, some kind of dangerous thing. Oh, you're going to DM. Okay, cool. Let me go get it. Oh, yeah, I got it. So, visit. Give me a second. Shh. Not yet. Okay, Rich, not yet. So there was that. And, all right, and then a third point is just going to be for something to be considered to go more viral or more popular, or for them to be shared, it's got to be something that is special in some sort of way. So it's not just making a smoothie, but it's making a smoothie underwater. You know, it's making a smoothie on the back of an RV that's trekking across the United States while being pulled by a semi. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't just, you know, here's a strawberry. It was, can I take off all the seeds of a strawberry using a needle or something? You know, it was something like fantastical. It was like, can a kitten make a smoothie with a miniature kitchen type things? Like there were little things, because just having like a recipe for like a fried egg, probably not the best, but making a fried egg in zero gravity, all of a sudden it's kind of special. Hopefully that makes sense. We have a video submission over here from Rich. So let's go and check that out. Let me hopefully come back over here, share my screen. Me and webpage.
Do you know what this sound is?
Shh. Oh no, it's still doing the video. Hold on. I gotta take that video.
With my first home computer
Wait, where is it?
came this dial-up modem connecting to the internet.
Okay. How do I take that off the screen? Where was it? I dropped it on, but where is it now? So there's something that I've got to pause. Help me. What did I do? How did I dropped it on the scene, but I think I made a mistake here somewhere. Somewhere in the, I knew I'd been betrayed. Where is it? Where are you? Why don't I see you? It was the first short I made. Okay, I wanna show it. Okay, I really do. I want to show it. Give me a second. Where are you? Help me out here. If I dropped it in as on the scene, how do I hide it after? Okay, wait. Go to next scene, loop, do nothing. No, go to the next scene. Oh no, what's it gonna give me? What's the next scene? No, I don't want to oh, she got big there for a second. How do I, sorry, Pixelpia, how do I don't want to end the broadcast. I just want to take this video off of the scene and I just don't see it after I dropped it on. Creator Make show in current scene. Yes. Streamlabs. No. Songlabs podcast. Why don't I see it? Why don't I see it? Okay, what if I just... Okay, so here's another one. And let's take a listen.
Voila. Hey guys, gonna show you an easy way to turn your ZV-1 from landscape to portrait for doing shorts. Voila. Hey guys, gonna show you an easy way.
Okay, I mean, that video's like 7-8 seconds, right? Anything else that you do is probably going to add unnecessary fluff or filler, right? Thank goodness you didn't say anything about subscribing or following you for more. You already have the subscribe animation down below, although in shorts, a lot of the time, it's not always the thing that's going to happen. One thing that I might mention is something like if you do have something that might even spark conversation. Do you have this camera? Do you use it to shoot TikToks? You know, what's your favorite accessory for it? Something like that also that you could ask people to comment just to get engagement. For something like this, we could go into something like an on-screen caption, but again, you already like have the product pretty much in that sweet spot in the middle. So where would we take this? You might have a close-up of the, you know, for all the people using shorts, this is the easiest way to change it. And then you show like a switch over. I don't know exactly with this one because there isn't that much more to change with it. I would probably take the 4 hashtag shorts off of the screen. So, you know, you could have ZV-1 portrait to landscape, or like, I'm not sure if you're selling the mount. And so then it would be more sensationalized of like, this is the perfect mount, you know, or the easiest way to shoot portrait video for TikToks or something like that. I'm not sure if you have it linked as like a product. Because if you did have it linked as a product here, I would actually pin the product here and then have it as a pinned comment, just so anyone who wants to get this is actually going to be able to go to it. But and I'm thinking, I'm not sure which direction you're going with this, because there are different things that you could say. Like if it is like this go-to accessory, you know, for changing out your camera angle, but then again, you could just use your tripod, and most of them have a ball head that you can just switch over to the side. So why is this better in any kind of comparison type of thing? Whereas this one, you have more potential to break something because of a quick release. You could drop the camera versus something where you're just tilting the head. So it's going to come back to like, how are you selling this? Like, it's not really a time saver. It's an additional thing that they're going to have to attach to their camera. So what is the benefit or point of this? Because I could do that with my small rig and it has the things on the side. If it is to sell it, then what are we highlighting as the thing that's the most exciting or most beneficial or most best part of this? Does that make sense? And then if it is something that you're selling, usually it's going to be like one accessory I can't live without with my Sony ZV-1, you know, versus yours is a little bit more matter of factual. Like, you didn't know this? Not in like a stuck up snooty way, but just in kind of like I'm not sure what you want me to do with the information, because I don't know yet if it's actually an improvement over what I may have, or pointing out why it's better than some other solution I had. Does that make sense? I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but I guess I'm a little left confused as to what you're truly highlighting and why it makes my life better. Help me out here with that, Rich, I guess. It was just an experiment when shorts first came out. Lots of people think there are magic settings to do portrait. And, you know, that could actually be something to explore. You know, lots of people shoot, you know, horizontally, but then, you know, you have to cut down the side. And what's one of the easiest ways? Flip your camera. What's one of the cool accessories that can help you do that without a lot of rigmarole? This, you know, it could be something like along those lines, you know, how to get a better TikTok framing, or how to get a better vertical video framing, actually using all of the pixels that you can and not actually cutting ones off. So, I mean, you could take yeah, I mean, I guess I would say when I watch this, it's kind of like okay, yeah, I get it, but I don't know if it's super valuable. You didn't necessarily give me a reason why I should turn my camera. Is it maintaining all of, you know, you paid for all these pixels, you might as well use them all, you know, or something. So I might have, like, there is definitely something to be said for just like making it short and getting it out there. But I think there's also something to be said, like, what do you want the audience to either learn or do or feel after they watch this? Is it that, oh, I should turn my camera to get the best results? Why or why not? Oh, I should buy this accessory so that I can turn my camera. Why or why not? Should I, you know what I mean? And specifically, this isn't even then for the ZV-1, because this could be with any camera, because this could be with your phone. So, I mean, I could show you my tripod with the ball head and be like, hey, if you're making vertical content, turn your phone. And that could be a whole, that could be a whole series of things, like where you just like run around behind people and like tilt their phones over or something and be like, now you're good to go. That would actually be funny. But yeah, I guess I would, it depends. What do we want to feel? What do we want to do? What do we want them to do afterwards? Does that make sense? And so, like, I thank you for sharing. I don't know, without probably having a little bit more knowledge what you want to do with this, how I would advise you to go about restructuring or refilming it. But it's an interesting concept, because actually one, that I could even talk about it for 10 minutes on a 7-second video. But that's the kind of questions it generates. And those are the types of questions that I would ask if you wanted to go after this shorts type thing and be like, yeah, let's talk about this. But I don't know if that was helpful to anyone. Thank you for sharing, though, at least that I could watch that. Does anyone else feel the same or differently? Or you feel like I'm completely wrong in that? Oh no! Take me off the screen. I'm getting self-conscious. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make oh, now I feel bad. Now I feel bad. I'm sorry. I'm Shelly, and I make my viewers feel bad. You're welcome. Okay. So hopefully, though, that does give you a couple of ideas on, like, not only the questions, but like how we would reframe and restructure and why some things maybe work or don't work. Was this helpful? Do you guys want to do more of these in the future? I don't know. Oh, wait, we got one more. The girl who, the woman who said that this was her idea. I guess we should definitely go look at yours, right? Give me a second here. I'm like, oh, I don't know. If it was helpful, we could do more of these. If it's not helpful, I don't know. Like I said, let's take a look here. We're going to visit this site. Hold on, Keels. Boop, boop. Okay, let's go back in. Screen share. Here's Keels. What do we got?
Know that you can add social connections to your user profile in Discord. This means that people can quickly look up your YouTube channel, your Twitter account, and other social platforms. All you need to do is go to the user settings, which is the gear icon at the bottom of the screen. Hit that, go to connections. You'll authenticate your YouTube account using Google. Go ahead and trust them. Very trustworthy. Boom, your YouTube channel will now show up under the options. There are integrations available for Facebook, Twitter, PayPal, Twitch, Spotify, and a number of gaming platforms. So if you're on Discord and you want to share your social media profiles, change these settings today. Did you know that you can add social connections to your...
I would actually start the video where you ended the video, which was...
user profile in Discord. This means that...
Hold on. Where were we? We were in. Give me a second here. Keely, I'm gonna rip your video here. If it will let me. Come on. Under pressure. Why are you doing this to me? You know the people are watching, right? You're doing this just to be an a-hole. Show it in Finder. Give it to me, give it to me. So I think you actually ended with the most interesting point. I think a lot of the videos that start with, do you, if you, when was the, anything like that, where it takes a long time to sometimes get into the meat of what it is. Sometimes it just has to be a little bit more jazzy.
You're on Discord and you want to share your social media profiles. Change these settings today.
Boom. Change these settings today.
You know that you can add social connections to your user profile in Discord. This means that people can quickly look up your YouTube channel, your Twitter account, and other social platforms. All you need to do is go to the user settings.
Put it down here for safekeeping for a second. We're just going to do some rearranging in this order. You guys can't see anything that I'm doing. There we go. There we go. Did I hear that if we control, we can... Yes. Oh my God. Why did I never know that before? I saw that today in one of the Facebook posts. Someone's like, yeah, you can move around the screen. And if you hit control, you can change where you're zooming in. And I was like, this is amazing. Why did I never know this before? Okay.
You're on Discord and you want to share your social media profiles. Change these settings today. Go to the user settings, which is the gear icon at the bottom of the screen. Hit that, go to connections. You'll authenticate your YouTube account using Google. Go ahead and trust them. Very trustworthy. Boom, your YouTube channel will now show up under the options. Your YouTube channel will now show up under the options. There are integrations available for Facebook, Twitter, PayPal, Twitch, Spotify, and a number of gaming platforms. Did you know that you can add social connections? PayPal, Twitch, Spotify, and a number of gaming platforms. This means that people can quickly look up your YouTube channel, your Twitter account, and other social platforms.
I think that's actually good. So if we do this...
You're on Discord and you want to share your social media profiles. Change these settings today.
Change these settings today. Yes. Oh, yeah. There are your captions, not my Okay, never mind. Anyways, you get the idea.
Go to the user settings.
Here is... I would say... Ooh, that's not what we wanted. Come back. Oh, shoot. I want you for the whole thing. Here. Scene. Scene. So in this scene, how
Go
big?
to the user settings, which is the gear icon.
Okay. How big can we make it? I know, I gotta keep that edge. You got what? Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing over here because I zoomed in on the wrong thing. There we go. Sorry.
You're on Discord and you want to share your social media profiles. Change these settings today. Go to the user settings.
Oh, and this text, I forgot. It's on the screen. Okay, you get the idea. When you go back and do it, yeah, sorry about that. But Keely, actually, you're in you can change it yourself. So I would go in here, take this section, zoom in on this a lot because most people are going to be looking at this on their phone. And I know you kind of zoomed in and you have the little mouse clicker, but like really like get in on it where it's actually taking up the whole dang screen and like make it like comically large on the zoom.
You'll authenticate your YouTube account.
So everything through here, just make it. This is a new scene, right? Yeah. And let's do a new scene here just to make sure. Let's throw scene ender on this. On here. Oops. It was supposed to be here, wasn't it? You. So let's go into this scene. Just make it.
You'll authenticate.
Yeah, here. Really, 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 really large.
Your YouTube channel will now show up under the options.
And then here, I would actually do a zoom and pan across all of these. So like, you know what I'm saying? Like add yourself a keyframe and then go in the video as it's playing across the screen to go like this, side to side. Okay. So you can do something like that. And then
authenticate your YouTube account using Google. Go ahead and trust them. Very trustworthy. Boom, your YouTube channel will now
and then yeah, pan across all of these.
There are integrations available for Facebook, Twitter, PayPal, Twitch, Spotify, and a number of gaming platforms. This means that people can
You got what I need. But you say I'm just a friend. But you say I'm just, and then bring this back down to regular. But that's what I would do. I would change your ordering. Hopefully that makes sense. So if you were to play it through, it would sound like this. Oh, that was double speed. Wow, that's so weird because it sounds so slow to me. I might go in and actually
change these settings today. Go to the user settings, which is the gear icon at the bottom of the screen. Hit that, go to connections. You'll authenticate your YouTube account using Google. Go ahead and trust them. Very trustworthy. Boom, your YouTube channel will now show up under the options. There are integrations available for Facebook, Twitter, PayPal, Twitch, Spotify, and a number of gaming platforms. This means that people can quickly look up your YouTube channel, your Twitter account, and other social platforms.
Boom. So that's what I would do if I were changing yours. And then, you know, let me know what you think or don't, whatever, you know, it's my show, but whatever, I'll be here to support you. So that's my thoughts on that. I think there's a lot of good stuff in there, but I think that you like really buried your lead with what was the strongest thing at the end. You opened with the question, which is fine, but if people don't identify with it, yeah, they might switch off. But I think what's more intriguing is if you're on Discord and you want to share, right? And then it's like, change these settings today. And you're like, oh, dang, what settings do I need to change? And then at the very end, you did actually reveal why they would want to do it, right? Because it's not just one thing to be like, make sure you drink your vitamin water. And then you just like end the video. And they'd be like, well, why do I need to drink vitamin water? Because your body doesn't have enough vitamins, blah, 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 all the things. So it's kind of like you should do this. I'm going to show you how to do this. Here's why you do this. Because then when it loops back around, they just got hit with all these things and then they come back around to, and oh yeah, that does apply. And then they're going to be like, okay, I should probably slow it down and make the change. Okay, and now I know why I'm doing it. So it's kind of like this psychology of the user journey that the person's going to go through. First, do I identify with this? How hard is it going to be for me to actually do this? Okay, here's the benefit. All of a sudden, okay, yeah, I'm getting it. All right, here comes the second loop. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to go make these changes and settings. Does that make sense? That's kind of that user psychology journey mapping as I would see it. So this particular thing, as you change it, is going to put you in around 37 seconds. So I think that's a perfectly fine and appropriate time frame on that. But yeah, those are my thoughts on that. What do we got here? How dare you? Nah, it's cool. To have someone take a look at your content of any kind and give constructive criticism. So yeah, thank you, yucky ham sandwich. Thank you. All right. So how dare you? I know. I'm sorry. Okay. I'll change mine myself. Oh, you're going to change it yourself? Okay. All right then. All right. Roast my shorts. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, totally makes sense. Cheers. Cheers, 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 cheers. Awesome. I'm glad to hear from all the people that I roasted that you still at least found it helpful. That makes me feel a little bit better. Most of you, I believe, were all channel members or moderators. So there's that for the win. If you want to do another round of roast my shorts. Do you guys remember the TV show Salute Your Shorts? Maybe it'll be a thing. Roast my shorts or roast my, I don't know, channel. We used to do a lot of channel reviews and we used to do a lot of video reviews too. But the thing with channel reviews, everyone thinks their channel is special and they can't just learn some general principles from watching anybody else get a channel review. And then they would get offended when I didn't get to theirs. And then even if I spent 2 or 3 hours, there'd be people who were like, you didn't get to mine. And I'm like, and I'm doing this for free. So like, you didn't pay me to do it. You didn't book a consultation call. I'm doing this. I remember one time I got so mad that people were really pissy about it that I even came back and I did a secondary stream the following day after my voice like came back. And they still were pissy about it. And I was just like, I remember talking with, I think the Niman brothers at one point being like, people were so unappreciative and so like, that it just became really difficult, to want to continue to do it when they were really ungrateful about it in the first place, you know? Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. They were just really ungrateful about it or thinking that their channel was some unique snowflake that, well, I don't want to listen to this. It's about a gaming channel. It's about a cooking channel. And that's not what I do. And I'm like, oh, really? Because you don't have a community section on your channel. You don't probably have this thing with other channels and you can't have an about section that might need some tweaking, or you might want to check your links on where they go on your header. Like all of those things still apply to you. Beauty channel, cooking channel, Discord channel. You know what I'm saying? So some things are universal and aren't special just because you think they're special. And you're welcome. It was for free. So anyways, yeah. But people sometimes can be very, well, not only melodramatic, but just very unappreciative. And that's always been one of the things I think that bothered me most about either doing Clubhouse or seeing the way that Nick Nimmin, he put in 4-hour live streams and people would be upset that they didn't answer his question or something. And I'm like, y'all, he's spending 4 hours a day doing this for you to try and help you be better. And just like I used to get upset with people in Clubhouse and be like, you could have listened for 1 hour, applied some stuff, tried it, made some videos, come back with better questions, not the same questions over and over that someone even just asked 15 minutes before you got here. Then you're upset that he's like, oh, we just answered that question. I digress. Anyways, that's why after a little while, I stopped doing some of those like channel review things because people didn't appreciate them. They didn't appreciate my time. They also wanted to argue with me about, well, you're not looking at my best videos. I'm like, I don't need to look at your best videos. I know what I know when I come to your channel and look at it. Okay. If you have to sit here and convince me, you also have to sit here and convince any other person who comes to your channel. And unless you're in 8 billion people's homes at the same time, convincing them why your channel is the one for you, like, that's not how it works. You get like a cursory first impression or second impression if you're lucky. Like, or there were some people, again, I'm just bitching here. There were some people who would come in, ask for a channel review. I would do it. They would come back. They wouldn't change a damn thing. And then it would be like, okay, you don't respect the opinion. You didn't make any changes and you just wanted to argue. And you get what you get and you can't get upset. You get the same result. You know what I mean? So, because you did the same darn things and you didn't change a single darn thing. I'm just rambling now. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you want to do more sessions like this, channel members, special type stuff. I know we did channel reviews before and just checkups and that kind of thing. Become a channel member. That'd be cool. Or at least subscribe to the channel because we're cool here. We're a cool group. Oh yeah, I should play my, oh shoot. It's in the wrong camera. Yeah, like, subscribe, all that with the other camera. It thinks it's the other camera. All right, everyone, have a great night. I will see you in a video very soon. Bye, y'all.